Hey Warrior Moms, Michelle here, and I got a question today that I've actually had a few times, and it was actually a question I asked myself when my daughter was diagnosed on the spectrum, and it was at that time she was a little over 2, and I had already had given birth to my son. He was 3 months old at the time when she was diagnosed, and I remember the first question I had for the psychologist who just handed us this autism diagnosis is, what's to become of my son? Does this mean that he's going to have this too? And he was a very vanilla individual, very black and white, kind of read off the diagnosis like he was reading a newspaper. And he just said, well, yeah, you should be concerned, because if you have one child on the spectrum, it's quite common to have multiple children that have developmental disability. So was quite scary for me when I heard that. And this was the question that was posed to our group. A mother came to one of our moms and said that she has a young newborn, and she just has an older child that was just diagnosed, and she's worried. And I get it. I would be worried too. I think there is between a 25 to 50% chance of a sibling having a developmental disability if you have one child diagnosed on the spectrum. So how did I navigate this? And just to let you know, Juliana is 7 now, and Cody is, he just turned 6. She's going to be 8 next month. And Cody is, knock on wood, developing typically. So one of the things that I did was, once I kind of got out of my own way with everything, I was in denial at first, and I was super angry with the diagnosis. I had all these just terrible feelings, emotions, thoughts about what had happened to us. Once I was able to process all that and get past it, and we started working on hitting milestones for my daughter, I looked at Cody in a different lens, and I said, you know what? With Juliana, I was a lot more resistant to hearing that something might be wrong and that she was even on the spectrum to begin with. With him, I'm going to do this a little bit differently. I'm going to be proactive, and I have this personality where I like to jump ahead of things. I like to get ahead of things before they become a bigger problem to deal with. And as you develop into this world and become a warrior mom yourselves, you're going to take on this stance naturally as well, where we try to avoid conflict, especially with our children, as much as possible. We want to diffuse any potential situation that would be challenging or stressful for the child. So being that type of personality and being that type of mom, I kind of jumped ahead of things when it came to my youngest. And I said, you know what? I'm getting him evaluated at 12 months, whether he's walking or not, whether he's hitting his milestones or not, he's babbling, eating, whatever the case may be, eating solids, I'm getting him evaluated. I don't care. So I called the county at 12 months. I called the county at 18 months, and I called the county at 24 months. And I had them come in and do a full eval each time. Every time I called, I said, well, there was some concerns, and he does have an older sibling. And usually that's all you have to say. You don't have to really get into super detail. You could just say, I'm his mom, and I have an older child on the spectrum, and I'm seeing this. Whatever you want to say, I really don't care. But idea is I'd like professional eyes to take a look at my son. So if he does need support, we can be on that quicker than I was with my daughter. One of the things that you'll learn in this arena that we're in is that the quicker you get intensive support, the better the outcome for the child. 100%. That's why I'm so passionate about doing this work now, because I've seen what we've been able to do for my daughter. We've been able to move mountains, do things I never thought were going to be possible for her. She was nonverbal, and now she's speaking. She's speaking quite well. And I didn't know if that was even going to be in the cards for us. And had I not been so aggressive with the therapies, I don't know if it would have been, or I don't know if we'd have what we have now. So when it came to my son, I took the same exact approach. So they came in at 12 months, OT, PT, speech, and behavioral, gave him full evals. He passed with flying colors, almost to the point where they were like, the third time I called when he was 2 years old, they're like, really, Mrs. Rogers, do you really think he needs this? But yes, he does. Yes, he does need this, because I need peace of mind that I'm getting ahead of the situation. I'm being more proactive in responding to whatever potential things may pop up. So, of course, go with your mommy gut, but there's no harm, no foul in this. I didn't have an issue with it. So by 1 year, 18 months, and 2 years, he was evaluated. By then, he was talking like he was the mayor of our town. It was insane. So by then I was 100% that we were good. We were in the clear. But you do the same. Do whatever you feel that's going to make you be the mommy that you need to be for not just the child now that is on the spectrum, but for this baby as well. Be proactive, get ahead of it, and I really don't think you can go wrong. If there's any other questions anybody has, comment below. I'm happy to respond and create a video just for you. Talk to you soon, everybody.